Hi. If you're watching this video, I know you are on a journey of self discovery, maybe even a journey of rebirth, or maybe you're just on a sobriety journey. But a sobriety journey is never just a journey of quitting a certain substance. There's inner work that's being done, right? And here I am again to share my life lessons I'm learning in real time. Today, I am 22 days sober. I know. I'm so excited. And not every day of the sobriety journey has been easy. Case in point, yesterday was a really hard day for me emotionally. But coming out of the other side of that feels so much more rewarding knowing that I didn't give in to my previous vices, my previous ways of coping with emotions that I didn't want to feel. For example, yesterday I was really brought down about my current financial situation, as I'm sure many of you are, especially if you're living in the States like me. The financial situation is just not financially situating right now. But nothing is permanent, everything is temporary, and I know that this is just a moment in time, and this too shall pass. So, when that moment passes, who do you want to be on the other side? And I decided I still want to become my highest self, the highest version of myself. And the highest version of myself is not someone who is high, if you know what I mean. I was feeling a lot in my head, and I was like, you know what? I meditated and I felt better after meditating, but I still didn't feel 100%. And so I decided, all right, I'm going to go to my childhood park that I used to live down the street from. I no longer live there now. So it's about, I live 20 minutes away now, but I drove 20 minutes to that specific park and I sat on a park bench and it was just quiet and the breeze was blowing. And it was actually pretty warm where I am yesterday, despite it being the 1st of November. It was very warm where I was, and so it was just a nice, comfortable breeze. I didn't need a jacket. The leaves were falling. Fall is my favorite season, by the way, so being outside was very helpful, and that was what lifted my spirits. I sat in the quiet and I listened to the wind blow. I listened to the trees. I listened to the earth and I just took in the fresh air and just was very still on that park bench. And I even closed my eyes and tilted my head up towards the sun. And I honestly felt like I was photosynthesizing, even though I know that like humans don't photosynthesize, but I was just taking in the energy from the sun, the energy from the earth. I'm an earth sign myself, I'm a Taurus, so I needed to feel very grounded. And I was so peaceful and serene and so calm that I heard like a rustling next to me. And I thought it was just leaves blowing again, but then like I opened my eyes and it was just a big old squirrel. And then I just stood up and then the squirrel jumped back like I scared him and I was like, my bad, man. Didn't know you were right there. As you were. Didn't mean to startle you after you startled me. We startled each other. But it was like a connection with me and this squirrel. And it's funny because up until this point, I actually had a vendetta against squirrels. I had a colorful past with squirrels. It started in college, and then at my last family home, squirrels basically took over our attic and the outside perimeter of our house because I had a neighbor down the street who would feed them peanuts. So the squirrels were congregating and they basically were taking over the neighborhood. We had to get out of there. But yeah, so I had a colorful past with squirrels. But I was like, you know what, man? You do you. I'm doing me. He went about his business, climbed up a tree nearby, and I went about my business sitting on that park bench, minding my business. And I felt so much calmer just in that moment. And it wasn't until two guys came to the park and then they started to smoke some weed that I was like, all right, time to go. Because that is the thing that I'm quitting, right? That is the thing that I have quit that I no longer have in my system. And I didn't want to feel the temptation when I smelled that smelly smell that smells smelly. So I decided, all right, that was my time. But I spent a good 35 minutes just on that park bench. And that was where I recentered myself. And that was when I felt better. So you just have to find healthier ways to cope with the emotions. A lot of times when I need to get out of my head, I need to get out of my room. I spend a lot of time in this room. I've spent a lot of time in isolation, and in some ways that's good because in the quiet, when you're by yourself, that's when you can speak to the universe and really get those answers. But sometimes you have to go outside to hear the universe more clearly. And one of the most beautiful moments I had yesterday, I was by myself in the park and I was sitting on this bench and I just felt moved to sing. And so I did. I sung Moon River and I sung it quietly, very low hush tones. And I swear I heard the trees applauding after I finished. And that's the best kind of performance for me personally when I'm just performing for the universe. It's just me and God, or whatever higher power you believe in. I like to say the universe because I don't like to pinpoint to any one specific religion, but the higher powers that be, the higher powers within life all around us, and the higher powers within yourself as well. And I recentered myself in that way. And I put a plan together, you know? I'm not happy with my current financial situation. What are the steps I'm going to take to improve it? And I made my own plan. And you can make your own plan too. And if you don't know where to start, maybe just start by going outside and just letting the answers come to you with the wind. And I am proud of myself for not giving in to temptation and going back to my old vices. And if you are on this sobriety journey with me, I'm proud of you for not giving into temptation and giving into your previous vices, because we can decide who it is that we want to be. And I say, we cannot control the things that happen to us, but we can control how we react to them. And I choose to react as my highest self. And that is with patience, compassion, love. And that's how I choose to move about this world, moving forward and right now. And you have to decide how you want to move about this world. You are not alone. It starts with you. And don't give in to temptation. It's not always going to be easy, but if it was easy, everybody would do it. But when you get through the hard parts of it, it feels so much more fulfilling knowing that you held true to your core values in what it was that you set out to do. Set your intention and stick to it. Until next time, y'all.